Are earthquake signs of the end times? When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places, and famines. These are the beginning of birth pains. Mark 13 verses 7 to 8. Just today, several earthquakes have been reported around the world. One notable quake occurred in the Maug Islands, in Mariana Island, with a magnitude of 6.8 and a depth of 222 kilometers. Another significant quake was recorded near the Myanmar India border, with a magnitude of 5.8 and a depth of 10 kilometers. Additionally, there were earthquakes of magnitudes ranging from 3.1 to 4.9 in various locations, including Taiwan, Solomon Islands, East Timor, Indonesia, New Jersey, USA, Fiji, Mexico, and Iran. Over the past 30 days, the world has experienced a range of earthquakes, highlighting the dynamic and constantly shifting nature of the Earth's crust. For instance, on April 4, 2024, there were notable earthquakes in the central mid-Atlantic ridge, Chumba in Himachal Pradesh, India, near Minami Soma, Japan, and in the Java Sea, Indonesia. These events ranged in magnitude from 5.2 to 6.1, demonstrating the global distribution and varied intensity of seismic activity. Many are left wondering, are these earthquake signs of the end times spoken of in Revelations? Not long after the 2004 tsunami that devastated Indonesia and neighboring countries, a document was circulating on the internet, purportedly showing a dramatic rise in earthquakes in recent years and using that to fuel fervor that Christ's return was imminent. Doubtless, somewhere people will again start to use such disasters as signs that we are living in the last days. Or, to put it more accurately, since the New Testament consistently insists the last days began with Christ's first coming, they will insist that we are living in the last days of the last days. But wait. How often do we go back and read what the Bible actually says? Revelation depicts apocalyptic earthquakes during the tribulation itself of a greater magnitude than anything the world has ever seen. But the place in Scripture where people turn to make a link between ordinary earthquakes and the nearness of the end is Jesus' Olivet Discourse. I've excerpted the relevant verses above. Along with earthquakes are mentioned several other kinds of plagues on humanity. What's crucial is to read the text carefully. Wars and rumors of wars should not alarm God's people. The end is still to come. The Greek reads all opa to telos, literally, but the end is not yet. Such portents do not herald the end. Amazing how the Christian grapevine, fueled by popular scaremongering novels, can disseminate a tradition of precisely the opposite of what the Bible actually says. But what about earthquakes and famines? These are merely the beginning of birth pangs. This statement is asyndetically connected to the preceding one, i.e., without a Greek conjunction where one would be expected, so that the two statements are tied even more closely together than they would have otherwise been. In English, though, we need a conjunction for the translation to sound fluent, hence, this is /these are but the beginning of birth pangs /pains, RSV, NRSV, ESV, net. In other words, just as labor pains remind a pregnant mother that there is a baby inside her that the body wants to bring into the world, so do these various earthly disasters remind believers that Christ will return, ending human history as we now know it. But how unreliable those labor pains can be, sometimes coming months ahead of the actual due date, sometimes weeks in advance. They remind us that we are getting closer to the climactic day, but we knew that already just because of the passing of time. They turn out to be singularly unhelpful in predicting the actual moment of delivery. So, too, with disasters and the parousia. In fact, given all the scriptural predictions about Christ's return coming by surprise, like a thief in the night, and so on, I suspect he will choose a time that very few people have predicted and when there is very little apocalyptic fervor in the air. Luke 21 verse 11. There will be great earthquakes, and in various places famines and pestilences. And there will be terrors and great signs from heaven. Mark 13 verse 8. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places, there will be famines. These are but the beginning of the birth pains. Revelation 11 verse 13, and at that hour there was a great earthquake, and 1/10 of the city fell. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the rest were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven.